Hello everybody, you're here with Claudio Beauty with your host Claudia Lara. Thank you very much for watching. So this video is going to be hopefully very short because if you can see, I have one eye made and one eye without. And the reason for that is I am wearing this palette, the new Beiges Chanel palette on this eye. And I want to compare it and try it with the new Backstage Dior 002 Smoky Essentials. This one. I wanted to see if they are too similar or I can create two similar looks. So just FYI, I love this new quad. Not quad, it's quintuple, it's 5, right? So I love this palette. It's the cool shade, and that's what I'm wearing. And if you want to see how I apply this and my review on this, I'll link it. I'll put it somewhere or look for it in my channel. But the conclusion was I love it. I'm going to keep it, obviously. And this was one of the looks. This one had a little more brown. The other look had a little more of this peachy. I love both. And then a natural look. So I think this is versatile and I love it. But I was very curious because when I tried this one, I haven't done a review of this one for you guys. But when I did it, when I use it, it was very mauve, probably because of this one. And so given this result, I wanted to try them. So if you're interested in that, please keep on watching. And I think my camera is coming down and down as I speak. So, all right, let me lift it up a little bit. Okay, so I have already swatched these two palettes for you. So that is the Chanel Le Beige Cool. And that is not all of the shades from Dior, but they are most of the shades that will be close to the mauve. So if you notice, at least this one with this, right, is very close. This one not as red, the other one's not as pink, but I was curious how it will look in the eye. So let's check it out. The colors that are missing here from the Dior palette is mostly, you know, the gray and the black because we know they're not going to be similar. But the rest, these two barely notice, and then the rest are the ones I swatch. And so there it is. Can see that one. There it goes. Not very similar, perhaps a little bit like this, but not really. This is a lot darker. But the same sort of that mauve kind of going for. So let's try it real quick. It's not going to be a complicated look. I just want to see if, because what I did here, since I was comparing two different colors, why is this coming down? Well, this is better for you guys because you can see me better probably, a little closer. But this is already a mix of most of the colors. Why? Because I started doing one and one, and then I wanted to equalize them, so it's a mix. But still, it looks pretty good, I think. Right? You know what I did not add, I forgot now in the review, is the sparkly color, the punch of color. So let's do that now. I'll do it with my finger. Oh yeah. I did not add it because on my day-to-day, even though this is beautiful and my work and whatever, oh my God, look at that. Change the look. This palette is so versatile. You can do so many things with it. But the reason, I'm sorry about this. I don't know. Maybe my thing broke already. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, I haven't filmed for a while and everything is still work in progress. So look how much it changed from the beginning. That I don't think I will be able to do with the Dior. So maybe I should have done it at the end. But the reason I hadn't done that is because on my day-to-day, especially now that we're still in winter and it is cold outside, I don't like a lot of sparkles in my eyes. I might add a sparkle here and some other gloss, but not in my eyes. It just looks too much out there, I think. Anyhow, so let me just play a little bit on with the Dior. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the white all over just to neutralize. This one is a lot wider than the one in the Dior. And what I mean by that is, here is, you can barely see the swatch on the Dior, the white that I'm applying. But the one from Chanel has a little bit of pink hue. I don't know if you can see. It's almost my skin color. You can barely see it. But when you apply, and the kind of lighting that it does is very, very, it does make a little difference. The next one will be this, but it still has, not gold, but it's more peachy yellowish. And then this has a little more rose. So maybe a combination of these two. Yeah, let me do that. A combination of those two might reflect. The one in Chanel is a little more peachy. Yeah, it does not look the same at all. And this one has a little more shine. Even though the Chanel seems to, no, I think that one is very matte. This one, the combination of these two, the eye looks so, so natural. No sparkles, no nothing. Now this one is barely in that, would say metallic or that little shine, but it has. So, I'm gonna add a little bit more of this that doesn't. Seems to me that that's the more matte. So just so you know, this second one, yeah, has a little bit of spark. And this one a little bit, but this one is really matte. So let me apply more of that. See, I can tone down a little bit of the shine. What should we call it? Shine that just got there. Yeah, they're looking very different. Of course, I haven't added the darker colors, but just on the light colors, since I just did this, I know I can tell that this is a lot more, so far, pastel, shine. Well, we'll see the final result. So after that, there is the brown, right? This one I did use some brown, so I might add that. But I think I'm very curious about this. It's not as red as the Chanel, but it's, let me try that one first and then we'll add more of the brown. Let's see here. It has a little more red, but not as red. Okay, all right, yeah. So this one is more mauve than the red in the Chanel. I'll show you in the swatches, but it gives me a little bit of that mauve hue. You see how it's now coming? This one has more brown, so wait for me. So what I mean is, this one from Chanel, it has red, it has brown, but it has this mauve. And now this one, I put this one. Now I want to add a little bit of the brown, see if it equalizes. Yeah, this brown is a little more darker, more brown, more dirt, kind of. If you see the Chanel, this one, it's not so dirt-like. This one is very dirt-like. I don't know if that makes sense, but it is. This one has more mauve. This one has more brown and pinkish. Let's see. So, but in the eye, once I start combining them, they'll look very similar. What do you guys think? I mean, I don't think you would know. I see in person. Yeah. I think they're very dupeable. Especially now. I mean, this one has a little more red, more burgundy. But when you start combining the shades, I think it has enough of that mauve, enough of that burgundy. I mean, now it's looking a little more purplish, but, and this one a little more pink. And then I don't have anything that resembles this sparkly pink like in the Chanel. That one is key. I mean, it really made the look nice. But I have two things that I pull out. Let's see if I put it away before filming. I thought I was not going to film it anymore. I have two colors. Okay, here they are. I didn't compare them when I did the review of the Chanel palette, but I don't know if you heard of these two colors. So this was a limited edition. It's still available. This is the Dior 290 Signature. And this one is the Addiction Tokyo. This is a brand that apparently just got to the United States. And this is the color Aurora Veil. So let me swatch them right next to that. So this one, ooh, you can barely see. This one is the Dior Signature. And this one is the Addiction Tokyo. So the Addiction Tokyo is the one that I want to compare to. Yeah, not the same. This is more pearly, the Chanel one. But it could work. I'll apply it in my eye. And definitely the Signature is supposed to, it does have a little bit of sparkle, especially with certain light. I'm talking about this blush. This is supposed to be a blush, but it has a lot of highlight qualities. I use it as a highlight more than a blush. But if I wanted to create something similar to what I did with that, I would apply this. So let's do that. Oh yeah. Now it doesn't have as much sparkles as the Chanel. You have to understand that this one is a blush or highlight more than an eyeshadow. But so it wouldn't do the effect. And especially now that time is going by, it seems that this is melting and it's looking more beautiful because it's melting the spark and it's just leaving some kind of a highlight there, but still sparkly. And this one is more powdery, more brightening. So yeah, I did change the look. So not exactly, but I mean, they're dupable. Not the same, but I don't think for the naked eye or somebody would really. This is more matte so far. Same colors, but more matte. This one has something that radiates. So I think the radiance of the Chanel gives a little more elegance, for sure. Yeah, I have to say, I love the Chanel one. I do recommend it. This one is versatile. It has all these tones. You can play with it quite a bit. And it has this gray and this dark. Let me swatch them for you that way. I finished swatching the whole. So this is the black and this is the dark gray. Wow. And you know, the interesting part is I saw some swatches done by another YouTuber. And in her swatches, the gray one looked very brownish. She was even mentioning how it looks gray here, but in the swatches was more brown. So I think you can do a lot with this thing. I don't know if I will utilize it as much, given that I like a palette. You know, some people buy the huge palettes and then they can do many things with all the colors. They have that artistry. I don't. I want a palette and I usually use a palette as it comes. And I think this one has that versatility of an artistry. I guess that's why it's backstage. The makeup artist wear, and you can do many things. And especially if we see the versatility of how you can play with the same shade, right? So yeah, I love the Chanel formula. So I will be doing a review on the new Dior eyeshadow palettes, especially the ones that are unique for the season. And I know the formula is different than the Backstage. These are a little more powdery, and because they're powdery, they're meant to mix more with each other. But yeah, do I have anything else to add? Could you create this look with this? Yes, I think pretty much. Can you create many more? Yes. Do I still think it's worth it? I prefer this one. I will try to do a look with the brown and black. This is one of the reasons I ordered this one, because even though it had all the other, you know, options, I wanted to see how this too can make a very smoky look, even though I have other things for black. But I just thought that was, but you see, this is the Dior. Very mauve, brownish, burgundy. What is my conclusion? I already said Chanel. I love that palette, the cool, the beige, new palette. This one is a worthwhile. Well, it's less expensive. You have a lot of variety. And yes, I think it's worthwhile. I like it. But very, very close by. If I had known what I'm showing you right now, I probably wouldn't have ordered this. Now that I do have it, I'm gonna play with it, and I'll do another video with different looks of this, not imitating that, and see what I'm gonna do with it. Which the Backstage line, if you just get all the items that it is for you to have that variety, that artistry. You have a little bit of everything, and you can use so many things. So that's why it's a different line, and it's less expensive. You can find them in Sephora as well. So I do recommend it, but it's not like the luxury makeup that I love when it is, even from Dior, the full quad and the full, collection and things like that. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. If you haven't done so, please ring the bell so you know when I upload new videos. And I'll see you next time. Please comment down below anything. Thank you. Bye.